Most people believe they are tough. They think because they survive their problems, because they get through their days, because they don't quit immediately, that they are strong. But mental strength is not about surviving. It is about controlling yourself. You are not mentally strong if your mood controls your actions. You are not mentally strong if you quit when things become uncomfortable. You are not mentally strong if you need motivation just to show up. Real mental strength is invisible. It is built in silence, in routine, in resistance. Most people live in comfort. They avoid pain, they avoid discipline, they avoid responsibility, and then they wonder why their lives feel small. Mental toughness is not something you are born with. It is something you earn. You earn it every time you do something you don't feel like doing. Every time you stay when you want to quit. Every time you push when your mind says stop. Weak minds look for excuses. Strong minds look for standards. If you only act when you feel good, you are not strong. You are emotional, and emotions are unstable. Mental toughness means doing the right thing even when you don't want to, especially when you don't want to. This is where most people fail. They wait for confidence. They wait for motivation. They wait to feel ready. Strong people act anyway. Mental toughness is built in discomfort, not in comfort. Every time you avoid what is hard, you train weakness. Every time you escape pressure, you teach your mind that quitting is an option. And once quitting becomes an option, it becomes a habit. Most people are not limited by their circumstances. They are limited by their tolerance for discomfort. They stop when it gets boring. They stop when it gets painful. They stop when it stops being exciting. That is not life. That is weakness. Strong people do not need excitement. They need structure. They wake up when they don't feel like it. They train when they are tired. They focus when their mind wants to drift. Mental toughness is not loud. It does not seek attention. It does not complain. It just does the work. Every day you make a choice, comfort or growth. Comfort feels good now. Growth feels good later. Most people choose now. Strong people choose later. That is why their lives look different. You do not become mentally tough by thinking. You become mentally tough by doing, by keeping promises to yourself, by refusing to collapse under pressure, by staying consistent when no one is watching. This is how identity changes. Mental toughness is not about being aggressive. It is about being unbreakable. It means that when life hits you, you do not fall apart. You do not panic. You do not give up. You adjust. You adapt. You continue. Most people think strength is loud. They think it looks confident, bold, fearless. Real strength is quiet. It shows up in routine, in patience, in endurance. Mental toughness is built when no one is watching, when there is no applause, when there is no reward. It is built in the moments when quitting would be easy, but you stay. When excuses would be comfortable, but you choose discipline. You do not need to be fearless. You need to be reliable. Fear disappears when you know you can trust yourself. And you only trust yourself when you prove it through action. Every hard day you survive, every task you complete, every habit you keep, you create evidence. Evidence that you are strong. Evidence that you do not quit. Evidence that you are different. Most people are controlled by how they feel. If they feel tired, they stop. If they feel bored, they quit. If they feel uncomfortable, they escape. That is not freedom. That is slavery to emotion. Mental toughness means your feelings do not decide. Your standards do. You do what must be done whether you feel like it or not. That is power. Life does not get easier. The pressure does not disappear. The challenges do not stop. Strong people do not wait for life to change. They change. They become harder to break, more focused, more disciplined. They train their minds the same way others train their bodies. They build tolerance for discomfort. They build resistance to stress. They build stability under pressure. That is mental toughness. It is waking up when you don't want to. It is doing the work when it is boring. It is staying consistent when progress is slow. Most people want motivation. Strong people want structure. Structure creates discipline. Discipline creates strength. Every time you do something hard, you become harder to defeat. Every time you stay when you want to quit, you grow. Every time you resist the easy way out, your mind becomes sharper. You are not weak. You are untrained. And training changes everything. You become mentally tough when you stop negotiating with weakness. No more excuses, no more waiting, no more self-doubt. You decide who you are. You decide how strong you will become. And that decision is made every single day. Do the hard thing. Stay when it's uncomfortable. Push when your mind says stop. That is how you become mentally strong. Control your mind. Control your actions. Control your life.